Not put too fine a point on it. I could have shit myself at the end of that one.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, hello there and welcome back to another Sunday run. Pretty similar to last week. Got about 10 miles to do with some intervals at the end. The only difference being this week is they're going to be slightly shorter, the half-mile intervals this week. They're going to be slightly faster, so we're going to aim for about 6 minutes 30 miles for hopefully 6 intervals, but 4 I'll be happy with. We'll see what we're like. This should be another pretty good marathon specific workout. It's really going to be, it's actually at 6.5 minute miles, it's a good bit faster than my the sub 3 hour pace that eventually we want to go for. And actually it should feed in quite nicely to the 5k training that we're doing, because 6:30 miles pretty good pace, especially after sort of 6-7 miles of steady running. And there's a decent whack of fatigue in the legs this week, so it is going to be quite specific to the longer distance stuff. One thing that obviously I go on about quite a bit is listening to your body, and I have to be honest, I'm not feeling great today. Obviously I've started doing a lot more swimming, and I think that's sort of hitting me a little bit harder than I expected it would be. I'm finding it quite tiring, but I'm enjoying it. It's actually been really good, and I'm quite happy with the progress I'm making for it. And to be honest, I'm dying to get in the lake. I just need to find a good time to be able to get down with somebody who can keep an eye on me, and we'll have a go at that. So yeah, as far as this one goes today, we'll see where we are. Carrying a little bit of a few niggles at the moment in my knee. I've been doing a lot more strength work on the bike, so low cadence stuff, and it is really sort of, I'm feeling it in my knees a lot more, but it kind of goes away when you spin it out, and I think it's just a case of getting used to it and adapting to it. I mean, I've only done about maybe a mile of this warm-up so far. My knee feels fine, so it's probably just my body getting used to doing something slightly different, but we'll see how it goes. Currently at Bluebell Woods, so let's through this way. So yeah, we'll get a few more miles down the road and get up towards School Lake Cliff and Hinton, and have a little talk about the intervals. One more thing that I've just thought about there is if you will have seen that we joined the Lionel Sanders 5k challenge, trying to improve our 5k PB. One of the good things to come from doing that benchmark is the fact that we have an up-to-date, accurate idea of what our 5k race pace is, which worked out to be pretty much bang on what my target marathon race pace is at 6:59 a mile. So it gives you an idea of the scope of the challenge we have to dip under that 3 hour barrier at the marathon. But that bit of information is quite key for structuring your workouts. Sort of 5k and 3k race pace is quite a good marker to then build your speed sessions off. So today, with the intervals that we're looking at doing, because they're shorter, they're only half-mile intervals, because I want to get a bit of benefit for both the marathon training and the 5k, we are going to improve them a little bit. So we're going to target 6 minutes 30 a mile for the intervals. Ideally we want to do 3 miles worth, so it'll be 6 by half-mile intervals. We're going to start doing them around about the 6 mile mark. So because we're doing the same loop as we did last week, we're going to end up with a section that goes uphill. So recovery wise, you want to give it about 2 minutes in between each one, get the heart rate back down. But with one going uphill, I'm really going to try and push that pace, and we'll reevaluate the recovery at the end.
You lack discipline.
I'll drop the link or a screen grab of the Strava, and we can compare what the plan is to what the end is, because we might have to abandon any idea after the first couple depending on how we feel. So yeah, call that bad prep last night. Right on time, must be every Sunday. Caught them out again. So yeah, just to go back to what I was saying earlier, expect these cars to pass. So the subject about preparation for workouts like this. Last night wasn't a good way to do it. I had a pretty crap dinner, which was just poor planning on my part. And then I had a friend come over, had a couple of beers, probably one more than I should have. So I was a little bit groggy this morning when I woke up. And I'm assuming that's going to be reflected in the quality of today's session. So we'll have a look. The other thing to touch on is obviously, since I've started adding a lot more cycling into my training plan, because working on the bike's something I really want to get better at. I mean, most of my rides at the moment are averaging around about the 170 watts weight and power output, which isn't great. It's averaging about 16 mile an hour, 17 mile an hour, which it's alright for me, but I want to be around about 20. So that's something I really have to work on. So I've been doing some strength building sessions and things, and I've noticed I've always suffered with tight hamstrings, and that then leads to other injuries in your knees and then your lower back, because it kind of affects how you activate the rest of the muscles in your posterior chain. And that's obviously it's important for stabilising your hips, your back, everything when you're running. So it's so I've had to start thinking a lot more about stretching and conditioning exercises to try and sort of build up the supporting muscles around my legs and my knees. And sort of hamstring stretching especially is a big one for me. Now I don't know enough about it to give you any tips, but there are some really good videos about there. There's a guy I see on Facebook a lot called Endurance Physio. Talks a lot about stretching, flexibility, and things related to stuff like IT band issues, which I suffer with. So if it's something you suffer with, then you're on Facebook, just have a search for the Endurance Physio. There's another one that I know through Instagram called the Durable Triathlete. He's also really good, and they're just good resources to make use of. If it saves you from getting injured, it's more time training, more time to hit your goals. So it's easily overlooked, but it's definitely worth doing. So next on our tour of Aycliffe, we're going to go down here, which is, you can probably see why, is affectionately known as Dogger's Alley. Now there is a Strava segment down here, and because I'm a bit of a Strava wanker, I'm actually going to do the first of the half-mile intervals down here, just to kind of see where it ranks. So let's hit the lap button and do number one. I'm going to stop that interval there because I have a numb foot. I'm not sure where that's come from, but we'll have a walk down recovery and see if it goes away before we try another one. Pace wise it was good though. It was sub 6 minutes, it was like 5 minutes something a mile. For a quarter of a mile though, figured I better stop just to figure out what's going on here. Right, I'll be back in a second. There we go, it's pretty much gone now. Yeah, not quite sure what happened there. I think all I've done is cinched the shoe a little bit tight around my instep. So, and then as I've kicked it up into gear, it's just cut the blood flow off to my foot. So I'll have to make sure I don't do that again. Well, we're out of Dogs Alley now. That didn't go to plan. Well, on the plus side, I think I resolved the issue with the foot. So hopefully that doesn't come back. And there's a landmark from the last long run that we did. We are back at the train station nearly. So let's get across the crossing and down into Wakefield Village. And basically we'll treat that little quarter-mile one just as a ramp in prep for the setup we're going to do, the half-mile intervals. And we'll start them when we get another 167 through Wakefield Village. Right, that's just at the 6 mile mark. Let's get into the first half-mile interval. Should take us from down here at Wakefield Village all the way around that road up to the entrance to the industrial estate. Here we go. Aim for 6:30 man. Oh. Three minutes 4. Way too fast. It was just over 6 minutes a mile, obviously. So pace wise, yeah, second one should be a good bit easier, but as you see there's a big hill coming up, so I'm going to recover for a couple of minutes before I get up there. We'll get up that hill on the flat, we'll go for number 2. So that worked out quite well. Just ticked over at 7 miles, so it was about a half-mile recovery, run jog, jog walk rather. So time for interval number 2. Let's go. Right, so that was just shy of half a mile, just because that path's horrific. Just shy of half a mile, but again it was faster than the 6-minute 30 mile pace. Got time for a little walk jog recovery. And going back to prep earlier, I don't know how many more of them I've got in my legs today. If I can get 2 more out, I'll be quite happy. Not put too fine a point on it. I could have shit myself at the end of that one. Didn't feel good. Well, I wasn't sure if I was going to do another one, but like Nick Bear always says, go one more. Nearly there. Yeah. Now no more. No more. So So we're 9 mile in now. It's the bell. Let the guys know it's here. So we're 9 mile in the run now. And given our last night's prep was not good, and I've certainly felt the lagers sort of sweating out me today on the run, I'm relatively happy with it. I think overall, including the sort of these like jog walk recoveries in between the intervals, I'm averaging about 850 at the moment. Still got a little jog home to do. But the steady run and the heart rate was all nice and low. So it's an improvement over last week. In the intervals were a good bit faster, they were harder. But yeah, I think hopefully they'll go at some good use, and it'll be helpful for both lifting the long run speed up, and it'll have a benefit towards the 5k training. So yeah, I'll end the running footage here because I'm getting low on battery, and I'm going to take a bit of a shortcut and go and visit the parents since it's Sunday afternoon, and I'm desperate for a drink. So yeah, catch you again soon.